Welcome, everybody. This is another Kicking It in the Second Half Kish YZ Hughes Weekly. So in order for it to be Hughes Weekly, we have to have none other than Hew himself. What up, Hew?
Hey, how's everybody doing?
Everybody's doing good.
That's good to know.
So Hew, Hew, let's backfill from the last time we did one of these over the course of the last several days, heading into the weekend. You know, we had the buyout market. Some things went down with that, and, you know, fill us in on what's happening tonight too as well.
Yeah, so I don't have anything written down about the buyout market, but I mean, I guess the couple most obvious is
Well, that's
Andre
a terrible
Drummond.
update, Hugh. That's just terrible.
Andre Drummond, obviously with the Lakers, and LaMarcus Aldridge with the Brooklyn Nets. Two guys.
Oh,
we
you want to give
about.
any quick thoughts about that? Where were you when you heard about the LaMarcus Aldridge news or headline?
I think I was at work.
At work? It's Friday.
Oh, it was Friday?
All right. Okay. Skip over that. I was doing a podcast on Tavern Geek. And in the middle of that podcast, Micah had read off that that LaMarcus was signing with the Brooklyn Nets. I think a lot of us was expecting him to go to the Miami Heat based off the headlines we were hearing. So that was just a complete shocker for me. So let me ask you this. What was your reaction whenever it was that you heard about it?
About the Aldridge?
Yeah, about him signing with the Brooklyn Nets.
I heard that
Stephen A on everybody?
I heard that the Heat were the favorite, but the whole time in previous podcasts I discussed I think he'd be a great fit in Brooklyn. So when I said it, I was like, kind of read the future there.
Yeah, so this is your fault. Once again, you heard it here. This is Hugh's fault.
Yeah. But anyways.
And Drummond, real quick, because you already mentioned
Drummond.
Buyout. Yeah, what do you think?
I said I've been saying, for a while too, that the Lakers need another piece, especially with AD still going to miss some time. So I wasn't surprised with that. So it made sense for me. So yeah.
Yeah. So once again, Hew is predicting the future as it's coming and unfolding. So if you haven't liked or subscribed, please subscribe and see what else Hew can predict, or just totally flip it upside down on its head if he's completely wrong or not. But yeah, keep the streak going, Hew.
Hey, it's better than your 33 pointers in an All-Star game.
The 33 pointers was a very interesting concept, and it very well could have happened. They were on fire.
It didn't.
I was right about everything else. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, so I guess the first thing I wanted to touch on tonight is Evan Fournier. He had his Boston Celtics debut. He played 33 minutes, a lot of minutes. Everybody had big expectations for him, and he had 0 points and shot 0 for 10 from the field. So a good start.
0 points. Like this is like the second dude in the last couple of games that you expect more from. John Wall, I think, did that Friday night or Saturday night, whichever game. He went like 0 for 16 or something, 18. Man, 0 points. That's what you traded for. What do you think about that? We're not trying to get into a debate, but that's very interesting.
I said from the get that I thought. I mean, while it's a good piece off the bench, that they needed a big man. I've been saying that, and I think the Celtics are reeling right now, and they needed someone to, I felt, step into the starting lineup and help them right off the get, and that obviously ain't the case, and they lost tonight against the Pelicans. So
they lost against the Pelicans and completely botched that trade opportunity to get a player like Vucevic, who obviously was available, and people knew that he was in the market to be traded. I would have poured in more assets to get him. And not only did you get him, like we said, they also traded away Daniel Tice. How's Daniel Tice doing tonight? Do you have any notes on that?
I saw it was halftime, but he had scored 4, 6, something like that.
He'll make an impact.
Yeah,
he comes off
the bench, but yeah.
Yeah, behind Vucevic and marketing. So, got some players to go in front of them to eat first.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so the next thing I was wanting to touch on is Russell Westbrook tonight. They beat the Indiana Pacers, the Washington Wizards did, and Russell Westbrook put up 35 points, 14 rebounds, and 21 assists. It is only the third time in league history.
Let's go, Hugh. That is crazy, bro. That the Wizards, are they making a comeback? We got to talk about this on the podcast.
Whoa. I don't know about all that.
Whoa. So they won, right? That's what you said?
Yeah, they won. I
mean, we can't expect this performance all the time, but man, this longevity of triple doubles again. It's like when he was in OKC. Shout out.
Yeah, but it like I said, it was only the third time in league history with a player had 30 points, 10 rebounds, and at least 20 assists. And it is the first time it's happened since Magic Johnson in 1988.
88, wow.
So that is extremely. I'm not a big Russell Westbrook guy, but I mean you can't argue that. That's extremely impressive.
Yeah, maybe you should.
I don't know how many shots. I don't know his percentage from the field to put up 35. You know, he probably took 50 shots or something like that. But
would you rather have him doing that and the Wizards winning, or Evan Fournier and the Boston Celtics losing?
I like that.
Things have turned around.
Yeah, and then I just had some injuries to touch on with some of the big guys in the league. 30 on my jersey. I'm repping it for a specific reason tonight. It's Curry, Steph Curry. He's playing his first game tonight since March 17th, where he bruised his tailbone against Houston. And
the tailbone is
healthy.
Out.
He's balling out. He put up 18 and a half along with 4 3-pointers made. So he's looking like he has no rust or anything like that. He's feeling good.
That's
Joel
just
Embiid is the next
being
one I'm going to touch on.
That's just
him being
re-energized. Yeah, for sure.
That's a good way to word it. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's ready.
Joel Embiid has resumed on-court activities, but there's still no timetable. I saw that he was initially, they said 2 weeks, which would be the end of this month, which is tomorrow or the next day. I don't know how many days are in March. 31st,
I think Thursday is
31. But they said now that's not realistic. They say he's not coming back by the end of the month. They still don't know how long. They just said he's resumed on-court activities and his conditioning's looking well. But they hadn't heard, so it looks like he's going to miss some more time than those 2 weeks they were expecting.
But why not? Why not? If you're Philly, just go ahead and throw that information out there. So if you do have to rest him, you basically treat him like the Brooklyn Nets are treating Kevin Durant, in my opinion. Would you agree? What you sipping on? Go ahead and tell the people.
Some water.
Paint.
Some water.
Paint water.
Then I wanted to give an update on a couple Lakers. LeBron, he was given a timetable of around 4 to 6 weeks, which would make it that mid to late April of his return, if that stays legitimate, if that timetable is correct. I know he could always come back sooner, or they could. LeBron. There you go. Hey, I like that.
What do you like? LeBron coming back in about 4 to 6 weeks, getting all that rest in, and then making a couple appearances on the court before the regular season ends, get warmed up, get his reps in.
Yeah, they probably going to be like the 7th seed at that point, so they're going to need him to come back.
Yeah, they're going to need him to come back, but, if he's rested, that's not to get off the subject. That's the one thing I always talk about here lately with LeBron. You don't want to see a rested, healthy LeBron. So if he's both of those things, yeah, beware, because that guy is he's going to be ready. If Curry was ready tonight, LeBron's going to be ready in a month and a half. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. Can't argue with that. And then the other Laker, obviously, I wanted to touch on was Anthony Davis. Not much news from him. There's still no timetable for his return. And I think they were quoted over the weekend or sometime recently saying that he's still a ways away from returning. So take that however you want. But it could be, just like LeBron, close to playoffs before AD comes back, if not the playoffs. So yeah, it's looking like he's still going to be out for a while.
I would say, just trying to read through the lines, that maybe part of that is just them throwing out some information, but also still evaluating and reevaluating his injury as far as how much weight and stuff he could possibly put on it, and when they think he might be ready without putting too much pressure on him through the press, they might feel like, okay, he might not be able to make it, let's say in a scenario, until if they make it past the first round, or he might be able to make it when LeBron returns, or they might do something where he plays a couple games and just to see how that supports, as far as his ankle or his Achilles and everything, and then maybe take him back off the court. I think it's just kind of more so of an unknown, but they're just wanting to feed us some information because, he's a player that, we are speculative about as far as if he could return healthy and what his status would be like heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know if you know anything. One player I actually forgot to look up and see what they were saying was Kevin Durant. Do you know anything about him?
No, I haven't looked anything up since yesterday. Yesterday I had mentioned that I think one of the headlines was that Steve Nash, not Steve Kerr, Steve Nash said that Durant was highly unlikely to return this week, I guess. So who knows? Yeah, he might just be on that treatment plan where if they need him, then they'll plug him in. But if Harden's playing like he's playing, they'll just probably keep prolonging that until they feel the need where he wants to get in and get a couple reps before the playoffs, before the regular season ends. In my opinion, that's what I think. That's what that's about. But I would say he might return sooner than LeBron, though. There's still some time to get some rest in, but also a lot of games left to be played.
Yeah, speaking of Harden, he put up I didn't write anything down about him, but he put up another triple-double tonight, so shout out Harden.
This is like a big battle of the East, the former Rockets, between Russ and Harden.
I don't think it was nothing crazy. I think he put up – I think I could be wrong here, but I know it was 38 points. I want to say 11 rebounds and I believe 14 assists. I believe those were the numbers. I know the 38 points because I looked specifically at the points to see if he put up 40 again. He was close, but yeah, and they barely won over the Timberwolves tonight, but they got the win. That's all that matters. Then I just wanted to touch on a couple teams in the East and West that were trending up and down. I think the last time we did one of these, Atlanta was in the 4th spot. And I wanted to touch on them. They've lost a few since then, and they're still in it, but they've moved down to 6th currently in the standings as of tonight, the 29th of March. And one team that I didn't really pay attention to, but had been winning some, and actually had moved all the way up to the 4th spot was Charlotte. Without LaMelo, I expected them. I think when we talked about him going down, that I was like, oh, that's it for them. They're going back. But I did see that this past week, Terry Rozier won whatever they call Player of the Week or whatever they call it for the
Eastern
East.
Conference Player of the Week.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess I was wrong about Charlotte. Shout out to Charlotte.
YB, your bud 36 said it best. Overachievers.
Yeah, for real. And then not much movement in the West, but I did see that. I think the last time we did one of these last week, that Portland was 5th and Denver was 6th, and those two have passed. Well, Denver has passed Portland, so they are currently in the 5th spot with Portland in the 6th. But that was about all the movement in the playoffs there since last week when we did another Hew Weekly.
Oh, that sounds like another one of our predictions coming true when we did the one episode where we were predicting where people were going to be seated come end of regular season. Portland slipping to the 6th, Denver climbing, and it's not just not trying to rag on Portland that they're slipping, but it's just that Denver's just a much better team and they're climbing, like you said, moving up the ranks. So expect them to probably be top 4. I don't see why not.
Yeah, I think it said that. I know the Lakers are 4th. I think it said they were 2.5 games back from them now. So something to keep an eye on. I know the Lakers won last night, so they didn't slip any yesterday. But keep an eye out, without LeBron and AD, if they continue to slip, Denver ain't too far behind.
Yeah, we're definitely going to keep an eye on. That's why we have you, Hew, for the Hughes Weekly.
Yeah, that's true. And that concludes all the new news that I have.
So all the new news is now old news, thanks to Hew. Thank you, Hew, for giving us the Hew Weekly. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll continue to provide you weekly updates and occasionally daily updates. I don't know if you want to consider that daily or just, I consider it daily because of the actual day itself. But yeah, follow us here on YouTube under Kish YZ, KISH_YZ. And if you like the audio only, you can find our podcast on anchor.fm, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, and Spotify. Hew, give a shout out. Is that some type of animal noise? Is that like a calling for an animal?
I'm thinking. I'm just going. I'm gonna shout out. I'm gonna shout out Russell Westbrook tonight. Congrats on that.
Hey,
that's huge milestone. That's extremely impressive, man. For real. So that's an amazing milestone. First time since '88. Like I said, that's happened.
Or not. I mean,
shout out
it'd be
Russ.
even more impressive if he put up 60 shots just to get that. If he had a bad percentage game, I don't know what his percentage or field goal attempts were, but yeah, I want to shout out Russ too. So and just shout out to the Wizards. Because, like I said, maybe they're flipping a switch. This is what I was wanting to see when they traded for Russ, and maybe he's got that fire going now. Maybe he's finally acclimated to their system, and he's leading the team. He's fired up.
Yeah.
I want to see that. Shout out to the Wizards. Peace and love, everybody. Thank you.